Hello and welcome to another episode of Pastor's Library. This is the channel where we talk about everything to do with theology books, be they books on a reading list for your seminary course, your master's or bachelor's degrees in theology, or whatever you're studying, whether you're just looking at the bookshelf in your pastor's library or your vicar's bookshelf, whatever it is, I hope that we're able to help you and steer you a little bit along the way to good reading. So if you like this, please give us a thumbs up. I really would ask you to subscribe if you can. It costs you nothing. All it does is it helps YouTube circulate the channel so that more people can see it. So click subscribe, click on the bell, and all the bell will do is let you know as soon as we launch another episode. So today we're going to talk about a particular theologian, author, someone who has impacted the world of modern theology in a very distinctive way. His name is John Nolland, and he is mainly known for the commentaries he's written on New Testament Gospels, but we'll talk a little bit more widely about that in a moment. So John Nolland is an Anglican priest, and he has been a long time professor of theology at different places. He's had a great deal of impact on the modern church. As he, by his own words, would say, he doesn't see the need between the difference between theology and church life, and he has always looked to build a bridge in that area. Now, he has produced a lot of journal articles, of which I've got most of them printed out in here. These are all very academic. As you know, journal articles tend to be the root cause of modern academic study. He's got some great subjects. For example, he discusses a verse in Matthew about Mary being a virgin. He discusses some of the key issues in New Testament theology, as well as a couple from the Old Testament. So there's always journal articles you can read about him that will help you, and if you're studying particular issues, you may find his name crops up. The things that you will see about him most are word biblical commentary in 3 volumes on Luke. This is now a little bit dated. It's started being published in 1989, so it's a little bit over the edge for quoting in a degree level essay, but one hopes that there will be something new from Word, or something new in terms of a revision at least, to bring this a little bit more relevant. But I have to say to you that, speaking as a pastor, this 3-volume commentary on Luke is absolutely brilliant. In its background overview, in the overview of its theology, in the deep analysis of every single verse, this is a brilliant suite of books, and one which is undoubtedly still worth the investment. My only reservation is, as I say, its date of publication. I'm sure that as time goes on over the next 5 years, we will see something hot and new from the commentaries on Luke's Gospel. This, however, is deep, very well developed, a lot of references to original languages. It is a really good quality commentary. And if you should see it second-hand, reduced or whatever, don't hesitate. It's an excellent buy. A little bit more recently, I think this is 2005, John Nolland enters the New International Greek Testament Commentary series with his Gospel of Matthew. Now, I don't know anybody who has got a copy of this who won't say to you, this is one of the outstanding commentaries on Matthew that's available today. with a publication date of 2005. This is well quotable for bachelor's and master's degree essays. This is a truly excellent commentary, one which I know it's an NIGTC commentary, but I would still say this is accessible. John Nolland is very good at bridging the gap between the Greek and English that's understandable. And I find this commentary absolutely brilliant. In recent years, I suppose I've put Craig Keener's commentary to the top of my list, but this prior to that was top of my list, and I still go to it. It's also just a simple, handy one volume that you can just access simply. It's a brilliant commentary. So those are the great legacy works that John Nolland has left for the church. Things which are an excellent read, excellent to take hold of. You've also got his journal articles which are accessible. There were just two other things I wanted to draw your mind to. There is a book he's edited on Matthew. I just don't simply have a copy. But this book, which is called The New Normal, it's the Transgender Agenda. This is a book which is sort of bang up to date. I think it was published in 2022. This has got articles by his wife and by the man himself. He speaks with great authority and he upholds, I was going to say the traditional Christian views of Scripture, but what he just does is he upholds the good translation of Scripture into what we have learned to accept as the traditional views, but he upholds it as being unquestionable. He does a very good job in there. So he's still obviously writing. I'm not quite sure how old he is, but he must be getting on now. But he still has something to offer. Now, the one other volume I want to talk to you about is a Festschrift. This was published in his honour, and it was published in 2018, so it's quite recent. I have to say to you, this is fairly expensive, but I did see an offer somewhere and I bought it for a quarter of the standard asking price. So don't just give up, look around when you're buying. But this is brilliant. Now, if you say to me, well, John Nolland, I've never heard of him before. Let me say this to you. People that have written in honour of him in his Festschrift include Craig A. Evans, N.T. Wright, Darrell Block, and that's just to mention a few. Steve Walton is there. These are really high quality commentators and theologians that have been attracted to contribute to a Festschrift in his offer. This is a superb collection of great works, great journal articles, which will enrich your study and help you tremendously. And it all has the name John Nolland attached to it. So, what am I saying? John Nolland is an older man now. He has impacted the study of theology very greatly, most particularly with his commentaries on Matthew and Luke's Gospel. But he is a man who is widely studied, who has a lot to offer, has a lot to say if you look up his journal articles. And this is a man that is still writing. So let me just say this to you. John Nolland has something to offer. I really like what he's written. I'm very grateful to God for it. And I trust that you will at least look at what he is saying, because he has something still to contribute to the 21st century church. I hope that's helped you. If it has, give us a thumbs up on YouTube. Remember to subscribe. Remember to click on the bell. And I'll see you next time on Pastor's Library. Until then, bye!